So tell me about Zaun. I mean, for most, going out and founding a company, that's a huge leap. Like you're jumping out on your own, you're taking that leap of going away from having everything supported and funded by another company to doing it all on your own. What was that journey like for others that might be looking to do it themselves, and how has it been so far?
Yeah, I think the decision to do it is never a thing to take lightly, but I also think it's hard to look around at the technology that's available right now and think that there's ever been a better time to be an entrepreneur. It's certainly a massive leap, but I feel like in many ways it's easier today than it has ever been. There's a bit of the technological tailwinds that assist there. In my particular case, I've got a wife who does well in making cybersecurity. She also is in cybersecurity.
Nice.
Yeah, some things that made that decision actually a lot easier from a tailwind perspective. The biggest thing is just having the conviction. Like I had been working on, AI and using these LLMs, and I saw a specific opportunity that we could make work really well. And then there's this other guy who I've also worked with really well, who also had the bug, who was like, no, 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 we should be doing this. Ultimately led down this journey. And so if you've got all those tailwinds and you've got a technological wave like we're having, and you've also got strong conviction about something, I think it's bad not to strike or to at least try, right, to take a strike. Yeah, that one was not luck, I think. It is luck because the technological tailwinds, Google did their attention is all you need paper in 2017, which preempted then this happened. So there's some luck for sure, but
Tell us what Zaun is and what problem you're going out to solve and what makes you different than others out there.
sure. So we had a bit of a journey where we started in one place and then pivoted and started another place and pivoted. And basically this just tracks kind of like where ultimately we were going to find fit. We knew that the first thing that we were going to need to build was essentially what today is called MCP. We wanted to solve for multi-tenant security services. We knew that because we thought huge value add for security service providers given this automation tech. It's going to be great for capturing business context and institutional knowledge. It's going to be
Mhm.
great at configuration management and search. All you need to do is figure out where to put the humans in the loop and let them basically audit the configurations at a really, really fast clip, and you're going to speed up security services. And
Mm.
so, first thing we built was this thing that basically allowed us to work with any particular tool and apply pretty rigid security controls to it while letting an LLM work with it. And some of those security controls are things like don't let it, you can let it query data, but you can't let it take an action, like an admin action or
Mm.
isolate host. So getting to a posture where we can apply those particular security controls and also scale out the number of different APIs we could bring in was the very first thing we focused on because we knew, marrying the whole tech stack of all the different tools that are available in cyber was the big problem. We initially did that with a slightly different vision, but it's highly relevant to today. It's one of our best things is like we can just roll a new product integration we haven't seen before very, very fast.
Mhm.
The second thing was around basically increasing the speed at which people can approve things. So, like, if you've ever worked with a SOAR product before, you know that it can add a whole bunch of value and start to basically stamp out classes of work that no longer need to be done before because you can use metal hardware to do what people had to do. That type of tool is incredible, does not scale very well. And so we then took that engine and put an autonomous SOAR engine together that had human review at the right steps to basically approve from detection all the way down into the full playbook. And we mapped everything to essentially MITRE defend, which once great framework to be able to bounce off of. Because with language models, you need to start with a strong corpus of value.
Absolutely.
It's great at it helped us do our validation. So, basically, we were able to go from automate detection engineering to automate runbook building, and it was okay using MITRE Defend, and then over time, both models got better and our harness got better to be able to fully automate that playbook build to where now it's like those runbooks are really high quality on first build, and they continuously learn, so they're constantly like, if I switch from CrowdStrike to Sentinel-1, it can switch over with high confidence. It will switch over. We built it so it could work with any SIM too, because, some of the first environments we were in were like Elastic or OpenSearch. We started to see this value as we started to scale with different security service providers who, in some cases, are doing detect response, some cases are doing vulnerability management or compliance or other facets. But basically, the AI SOAR capability is still core to today. And then we thought, okay, we need to go out and capture as much business context as we can, because one of the hardest things with these tools and with any security tool is, how do I do the continuous tuning? And some of those things will be ephemeral and some of those things will be forever. And being able to capture that at the right moment is challenging. So we built this platform that not only does this AI SOAR, that does the alerts and ticket management, allows you to do components of self learning, where I can use AI tools in tactical ways to get information about what I'm doing. But now I can also provide constant feedback about the environment. I can provide constant feedback about run books, and that information collects and is retained so that I don't have to tune alerts the way that I used to. I don't have to open a ticket and have someone in security engineering tune a run book. I can actually have this happen just on the fly for me as I'm just doing my operational duties. Context capture helped us drive up quality and drive down false positives. Now, when we use our tool and we compare it directly to a traditional SOC, just because of time constraints, if you have a SOC that's well resourced, you can get to these same numbers, right? We're getting on average about 4 to 5 times as much evidence for any investigation, because we're doing more than just the basic lookups on things. We're doing full investigations at every alert, but we're also speeding up to business context capture so that you can attain, like, only look at the 0.9% of alerts that matter, while actually looking at all of the things with a deterministic run book. So, anyways, now you can tell I'm a nerd. I love my tech, but to answer the question.
Who's your target market fit for Zaun, and why are you targeting this market for your product?
Sure. So the best fit for our product is those who need not like a commodity MDR service, but a niche or a specialized or a bespoke service. Our tech is able to deliver really fast runbooks that help improve the overall security posture, the monitoring, and ultimately the controls that you can apply in an environment. Whether I'm a small micro MSP who wants to better service K through 12 and I need to capture that context, or have run books that are aware specifically of key drive times at the beginning of the year, or the end of the year, or data enclaves where they exist with student sensitive data. Being able to deliver that type of service in a personalized way has not historically been something we could do with a commodity MDR service, because it has to be a general practice to scale the service arm. So now we can actually deliver those stories, whether they be those small wealth management office or law firms or schools, like in those particular verticals. But we can also build these bespoke capabilities for teams too. We got a team that needed insider threat run books for DLP. Personalizing in business context and understanding the data enclave is a great use case for our tech to be plugged in. And we can also, as they grow on their maturity journey, a lot of times insider threat teams will start, or insider risk teams will start from DLP, then they'll move to offboarding and sensitive access. And on their maturity journey, they're going to need continuous run books that are able to solve that problem and continue to capture that business context so that they can start to apply the right controls in the right places with the right business leaders. And so the story is essentially, those who need niche or bespoke capabilities are those who get the most value, where commodity MDR, commodity detection and response in general, is not going to necessarily be enough, like in these specialized markets. If that's a specific niche that you offer a service in, that's where this fits really well. Does that make sense?
Wow. Yeah, it definitely does. It sounds like you can tweak and tune your product to a lot of niche markets and offer a very tailorized product, almost like a white glove service that is tuned to their needs and learns and grows with them. Anything else you would like to add to that?
I've always got some interesting opinions on where AI should be used and where it shouldn't be, and concerns via the world. But I know from a timing perspective, maybe that would be better on a different call.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to have you back and have those conversations. Tyler, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll definitely have you back for sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.